Stanisław Barszczak on the World Day of Freedom and Polish Independence. You have to learn love. I invite you to see my video on internet. Let's find some beautiful place to get lost. Dear traveling companions, my compatriots, Mother Teresa of Kolkata said, "There are people who have a partner but feel so lonely and let go that it's like they don't have one. Others, in order not to wait, decide to walk alongside the wrong person and, in their selfishness, do not let that person go, even if they know that they are not making them happy. There are people then who enter into broken marriages or engagements because they find loneliness difficult and unacceptable. There are people who decide to go second when trying to get to first, but this journey is difficult, uncomfortable, and it fills us with pain and abandonment. Yet there are other people who are alone, alive, and shining, and get absorbed in life in the best way. People who don't go out, on the contrary, who join more and more every day. People who learn to enjoy loneliness because it helps them to come closer to each other, grow and become stronger internally. There are those people then who one day, without these people, without knowing exactly when and why, will find by their side a person who loves them with true love, and then they will fall in love in the most beautiful way. Quote end. Blessed Stefan Cardinal Wyszyński is a servant from Poland. The Archangel Gabriel told the Virgin of Nazareth that the Lord would like this. She would become a mother and give birth to a son. And she agrees with the will of her Lord when she replies to the angel, "Let it be done to me according to your word." As I said, blessed servant Stefan Cardinal Wyszyński about him, the new film entitled The Prophet, which we can already see in Polish cinemas. The Lord is also servant. Now Mary is a servant of God who stood next to Jesus' cross until the end. The time has come that Jesus, her son, foretold the kingdom of God and confirmed it with his whole life. He died for us while we were still powerless for our salvation. This Jesus showed us the Father. He taught us that the latter has a servant. The Lord is great. He wants to heal and make everyone happy. And now Jim Caviezel, the actor who played Christ in Mel Gibson's famous Passion, encourages us to take our own crosses from the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross, from his most expensive blood, the sacraments sprout, which make up the church, said St. Augustine of Hippo. How do we implement our meeting with the Lord? Pope Francis says, "No evidence is beyond our reach. No evidence will be greater than what we can do. But do not shy away from testing. See what this evidence means. What does it mean that I am sad? Why I am sad? When I am sad? Does that mean I am in despair right now? What does it mean that I am in despair and cannot go on? St. Paul reminds us that no one is tempted beyond his abilities, because the Lord never abandons it, and we can overcome every temptation closely with Him. And if we don't win it today, we'll get up again, go and win it tomorrow. But let's not be that. Let's say, don't be overcome for a moment of sorrow, despair. Go ahead. May the Lord bless you on this journey. Brave, the spiritual life of eternal walking. Close end. Dear friend, allow me here to comment on the sentence of Pope Francis of last October. And not only the Lord stands before us, but also the servant who teaches us humility, like blessed Stefan Cardinal Wyszyński, even resorting to becoming a proof of the independence of the homeland, to show momentum of ad hominem. Testimony of the man of blessed Stefan Cardinal Wyszyński. Today there is no sermon, I would say, or it is too short and with a mask covering human mouth. The servant is not greater than the Lord, it is true, but it is precisely this faithfulness that I want to sing to you with all my heart, so that no one of our servants will ever forgot. And I wish the Poles, my fellow countrymen, such a servant on our holiday, on our life. But they still need to be shown, these servants, and talk about them loudly. Beloved, on the evening of November 9th, 1989, the GDR, East Germany, opened its border crossing to the west to all citizens. Berlin Wall collapsed. The peoples of Europe have come together. There is no shortage of artifacts in the world of the latest technology. And I would like to mention other things to see in our modern society. The people of Europe, the internet allows you to see the tomb of King Tutankhamen in the Valley of the Kings, Luxor, 100 years after the discovery of the greatest treasure in the world, treasures of the golden King Tutankhamen. The most golden is the life of Jesus, but golden King Tutankhamen. And in front of my eyes, I have a postcard that shows Barsana Monastery in Manamurs, a spiky church tower in Romania. It is a fact that in our era, people are already moving around the globe and traveling to the most exotic parts of the world, such as the Norwegian Stone of Love, a stone hanging over the abyss. In the near future, they will celebrate the completion of a new architectural venture, the Kingdom Tower, a tower rising 1 kilometer up in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We'll still admire new artifacts that have survived from ancient civilizations, but we also caress native jewels like the parrot armor of the young king Sigmund August, from the 16th century. The Italian anthem speaks of Poles from the whole entire globe. Let us pay respect here to Italy, from the Italians to Italians, for the sake of saving in particular monuments of European culture, our old continent. We love Rome, the eternal city. As a believer, member of the Roman Catholic Church, I have visited Eternal City 25 times. There are quite a lot of monuments in Italy that are worth seeing, I will say. How many monuments, how many pious processions with relics of saints there are. I've been there everywhere. In Sicily, Sardinia, San Giovanni Rotondo, Naples, Bologna, Milan, and so on. Italians love Poland, and in return, we certainly fell in love with the artist Albano and Romina Power at the concert. We love Rome, not only for its magnificent monuments, a testimony to a great and distant past, but also for its typicality, food, things to do, and fascinating views that can be admired while walking the streets of Rome city center. Because everyone who visits them, be it a tourist or a Roman, will be eternally fascinated by the beauty that this city offers. How not to start with the monument that made the capital one of the most visited cities in Europe? The Colosseum at night offers a breathtaking view thanks to the surrounding lights that break the twilight of the surrounding streets. If you are going to visit the center of Rome, you can do without the trips inside. Probably the Italian island of Sicily is the most beautiful island in the world. The Valgarner Palace in Palermo owes its present appearance to the 18th century work undertaken by the Valguarnera family, in particular by Prince Pietro di Valguarnera. Let us mention here Venice, which in my youth was threatened with the catastrophe of being completely underwater, and which was saved now. For the approximately 115 islands on which it extends, the 150 canals that cross it, and approximately 450 bridges connecting different areas, Venice, capital of the Veneto region, is a unique city of its kind that many are trying to recreate in different parts of the world. The city is divided into 6 areas called sestieri, and on each gondola that crosses the water of its canals, there are iron ornaments with 6 teeth to represent them. The sestieri of Venice are Canareggio, Castello, Dorsoduro, San Marco, San Polo, and Santa Croce. Characterized by countless canals, Venice has undergone numerous human interventions over the centuries to ensure that its inhabitants and then tourists can move from one point of the city to another. This is why there are around, 400 bridges in Venetian city, some made of wood and other of iron, many of which are privately owned. The most famous are the four bridges built on the Grand Canal, the Rialto Bridge, the Scalzi Bridge, the Accademia Bridge, and the Constitution Bridge, and the Bridge of Sighs. We also love Verona then. The historic center of Verona is a UNESCO World Heritage Site thanks to its squares, bridges, and numerous churches and towers. From Roman to modern, going through the Gothic era of the Lords, Renaissance, Baroque, and Neoclassicisms, Piazza Bra is the city center. The dominant feature is the Arena di Verona, the Roman amphitheater that hosts Verona's prestigious opera season. But there are also buildings from the 17th and 19th centuries. Today is also the feast of the Polish Pope from Poland, John Paul II, who rests on Italian soil. Let us pay tribute to him, and by singing Barca's song, let us remember this pontificate of the beloved Holy Father, so important to his Poles. Finally, let's return to our backyard, Warsaw. On the November day, let's recall our heroes who have already departed from the heavenly homeland. Glory to the soldiers of the Scout Battalion and so many unknown witnesses of the lowest history, of the beautiful history of Poland and this continent. Let's explore the backyards of Warsaw's Śródmieście district. Our trail will lead you through a courtyard designed by the Oscar winner, and so on. Climatic clusters serving as film sets, a symbolic tombstone of the tragically deceased poet Krzysztof Kamil Baczyński, a hidden pearl of modernism for officials of the Polish People's Republic. See also the network of unique brands of Marriott Bonvoy hotels. Direct booking ensures the best prices and flexible cancellation conditions. We invite you now for a walk through the tunnel under the Świna River on the north of Poland. What's new at the construction site? On Wolin Island, work is currently underway on the construction of the Trafo TK2 station building. In the rampart, insulation for the road, assembly of the facade structure, and finishing works of sidewalks and energy-consuming barriers are performed. In the starting chamber of the island of Uznam, the backfill in the western part for the road plate has ended. Diagram for walls are sealed. See on the internet what the tunnel in Świnoujście city under Świna River looks like from the Uznam Island to the Wolin Island. Look at the Vistula mouth to the sea in Mikoszewo, at the side of Poland, close to the Danzig, northern of Poland. What an amazing sight! You must see this. There are Mewiałacha reserves on both sides, and you can meet seals in the wild there. On these sandbanks, they stop there, dear friend. And now, Black Friday, I would say. In October, the inflation rate in Poland rose to 17.9%, which is the highest rate since January 1997. How does an ordinary Polish citizen not lose their savings and even multiply them? We will tell you in our new article on the site, through internet. For the first time in 8 years, we have a situation where wage growth has not kept pace with inflation. I think some people are already seeing this effect, and this is also the reason why they are already limiting their purchases. Of course, people also hear about the very difficult situation that awaits us in winter, i.e., the expected very high prices for energy heating. We all know very well, we often associate the crisis of economic breakdown and the deterioration of the situation of households, i.e., families, with a large increase in the unemployment rate. This is what the next crisis will look like. Inflation will destroy all your savings. According to the mass media, in 6 months' time, the vast majority will understand that they cannot afford much. Here's what we'll be watching in the coming month. Wages will not keep pace with rising inflation. In short, we'll be poorer. Poland is entering a difficult economic phase, but there are ways to mitigate the effects of rising inflation. Now is a good opportunity to invest in this period. To invest in assets, the price of which will increase significantly in 3-4 months. The shares of energy giants are a safe investment in this period, I said. After analyzing these capital markets, somebody said, I came to conclusion that at the moment, one of the most stable and reliable companies on the Polish market is Gaz-System. In addition to the guarantee that all your savings will be saved from inflation, there is also the possibility of multiplying them. Now it's official. The company recruits investors who will be able to buy shares at the lowest price, from 1,000 Polish zlotych, and guarantee themselves a passive income of 11,700 Polish zlotych per month for the following years. The shares are available only to Polish citizens, so every Pole has the opportunity to earn money on the natural resources of his country. I don't believe in these fairy tales, but I believe in being faithful to human values and ideals to the end. I wish prosperity to all human endeavors in their homelands, for which I bless you with all my heart. I don't believe, but I believe in our future. I wish prosperity to all human endeavors in their homeland, for which I bless you with all my heart. Your priest Stanisław.